All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is March 17, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, let's go take a look at some charts today. Just an FYI, I made about 2,500. Okay. 2,500 in gains, all right, on that. And my daily goal was 4,100 right there. Let me see, make sure I got that right. 1% of count is 410. 410. So that's, we'll just take a peek at that. So that was 2568. All right, so $25.68 divided by 4. Let's just call it 420. All right, I got 6 daily goals today. 6 daily goals. All right, and all I did was I just traded the game plan. All right, so let me just take all this off. Pop out of here for a second. Okay, I just traded the game plan. All right, and you come in the BYOB Trading Room, and you get the game plan first thing in the morning, and there it is. All right, first price entry, green erases red. Right here, right over 562.80. And we had a 10-minute uptrend ripping over VWAP, and we traded that. Okay, you could have traded the SPY game plan. You could have traded the QQQ game plan. Either one, price over 478.80. You can see right here, price rips over 478.80. You got a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. That's where the opportunity is. Okay, when you chop back and forth and you're attached to VWAP, or you got the rubber band candles down here. Okay, again, like I said, I'm bullish over the pivot, bearish under the pivot. All right, unless of course we get extended or we hit a target. But there it is. You could have traded the QQQ. You could have traded the SPY. You could have done them both. Either way, if you did at least one of them, you should have made money. If you didn't make money, please contact me because I want to help you. All right? So my email is john@byobtrading.com. All right? So there it is. It's a pretty simple process. I think we did the same thing on Friday. Here's a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. We made money on that. Every time you get those 10-minute uptrends ripping away from VWAP, that's where the opportunity lies. So I mean, you could have made some money on the Qs. You could have made some money on the S&P 500. Either way, and if you traded futures, because I trade futures as well. See what we got on the futures chart. Okay, for today, for me, all right, I made $5,000 trading the futures right here. Okay, again, I'm trading the game plan. That's it. I'm just trading the game plan. All right, that's it. You could have done it on NQ. You could have done it on ES. Either one, you would have made money trading the futures right there. Say, soon as ES or QQQ, SPY or QQQ go in a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP, that's your entry right there. All right, you got the higher low, look for the higher high, and just kind of hold on for the 10-minute ride. There it is. So nice, easy day for us. Again, 6 daily goals. Can't go wrong with that. All I needed was one, and I got 6 daily goal. That puts me up ahead again. So I feel good. Let's take a look around the horn here and look at a few charts. Let's take a look at SPY. All right, on the 10-minute chart, you got a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. You can see right here, 3 crossing underneath the 8, big red candle pulling back the VWAP, and minor support. See those wicks? Well, that's a target pulling back to that support area right on top of those wicks. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute chart, 10-minute downtrend because the 3 is underneath the 8 coming into the close. On the 2-hour chart, all right, we got the 2-hour chart, and you can see the 3 EMA, which is the yellow line, and the price action candle, okay, right up here over the white line, that's the 8 EMA, 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. On the daily chart, higher low, higher high, closing over the bearish trap, under the falling 17. So we're still in a downtrend, right? SPY still in a downtrend. Guess what else? We still haven't broke trend. All right? Not only are we still in a downtrend, but we haven't broke any trend lines here. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Still a lot of work to be done. All right? So SPY on the daily chart, bouncing off of the 550, big fat whole round number. I got price. I think price wants to target this valley low between these two peaks. Here's peak 1. This would be peak 2. And there's the valley between the two peaks. I think that's going to be a target for SPY. If we get another green day tomorrow, if we get a red one interrupted, I think that may interrupt another 2 green candles to the upside right up here to that target. Okay, so price action right there. New. What is Jim is new. Welcome, Jim. Thanks for being here. What is BYOB? Be your own boss. Yeah. What is boss? That means you get to pick when you work. All right. You get to pick when you work. If you want to work or if you don't want to work. I'm trying to help you find a way or a path to financial freedom. All right. What day, what time is some corned beef and cabbage? St. Patty's Day. No corned beef and cabbage for me today, but I do enjoy it. All right. I hope you all enjoy it as well. All right. So there's SPY. All right. Again, I went over the game plan. The game plan works. All right. If you just trade the game plan and nothing else, you should be able to knock out one daily goal at least almost every day, pretty much. All right. So there's SPY, there's QQQ. Let's look at QQQ on the daily chart. Higher low, higher high, closing just like SPY over the trap, over the bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. There's QQQ. I think that's the all-time high anchored VWAP. So let me just move this over right there. Okay. There, we got it right now. Okay, so down here, no longer in the lower third, so just neutral. Again, price goes up, gives it up, that's neutral. Price goes down and gives it up, that's neutral. So QQQ just neutral here. All right, let's take a look at FNGA. This is the one to watch, is FNGA, because this has 10 of the most heavily weighted securities in the QQQ and the SPY. This is the one to watch. I keep an eye on it very often, almost religiously, okay? Because this is what's pretty much going to jerk the two of those indexes around. Price action for FNGA, a little bit better price action. Notice they already put in a higher low right here. Pretty nice, all right? Higher low, higher high today, all right, on the daily chart. Closing, well, it's inside the bearish trap as opposed to above it. Under the falling 17, under the midpoint, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line right there, under the midpoint, that's a green dash. Okay, so we're just neutral. All right, if they get down into the lower third, they're going to be bearish. All right, they go up, they give it up, that's neutral. They go down, they give it up, that's neutral. So there's FNGA. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM is bearish. You can see price action goes up and gives it up, so that's neutral, right? But when you go up, give it up and more, that's bearish. All right, price action, pretty much like the rest of the Fab 5. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap under the falling 17, under this pink line. That's the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, underneath the uptrend line. All right, underneath the midpoint. Down here in quadrant 1, that's going to be bearish down there, IWM. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow got a higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the uptrend line, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, over the midpoint, that's nice, okay? Price action, again, moves up, gives it up, that's just neutral, moves down, gives it up, that's just neutral. So Diamond Dow closing over the midpoint, closing over the ADMA, I like that. All right, so there's Diamond Dow on the daily chart, it's just neutral. All right, let's take a look at T2122. Wow, something different really happened today. I guess buyers woke up, or maybe 401ks money came in to get funded. But I got to tell you what, we wound up in the buy zone. Okay, you can see we ripped from the seller's chop zone early this morning right into the buy zone. And we camped out there all day, making the bears uncomfortable. Right there in the buy zone. So nice work on T2122, breaking the downtrend line over here. So nice work for the bulls today on T2122. Take a look at T2123. Nothing really spectacular. All right. It really just looks like the bears got tired of selling. I mean, I'm not seeing like a big V bottom back to the falling 200. I am seeing some bullish environment, okay? And let me show it to you. Okay, you get consolidation over prior consolidation. That's a bullish environment. Nonetheless, we're still in a bear flag, okay, which is not a bullish environment. Okay, we still got bearish gaps that need to be filled. We still find ourselves well underneath a falling 200 SMA. That's not really that bullish either. Okay, they just barely qualified for some bullish activity today, and that's all I can say because I don't see a V bottom. I don't see any higher highs. Okay, no higher highs, no bearish gaps getting filled. We're still underneath a falling 200 SMA. All right, that'd be like a falling elephant. All right, we're still in a bear flag. All right, the only thing we did was, I guess we put in 6.5 hours of bullish consolidation over prior consolidation. That's all I can say. So there's T2123. Well, you can see it was green from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Not a whole lot of separation from the 17 and the price action. Okay, so little squeaky bits of bullishness. That's all I can see. All right, T2123 3 bar. Again, we got the same thing happening. It's a bear flag. All right, move down. You got the hockey stick right there. Again, closing in on the falling 17. You can see the candles kind of, or the price bars closing in on the falling 17. We're still underneath that 200. See the fading 200 up there. Again, it's like another whale on top of you. All right, and you can see price action made a lower high right here and produced, guess what, a lower low. All right, so it looks like maybe they're done selling, maybe they're not. Maybe this is just a pause before some more selling. All right, so we're underneath these two priors, these two green lines. Those are prior all-time highs right there. Definitely not the all-time high, which is clear up here. All right, so still bearish. All right, in my book, still red. Okay, right there. Nothing really to write home about right there on T2123. On the 3-bar chart, on the 15-minute chart for FNGA, you can see price action kind of consolidated, kind of just barely qualified as consolidation over prior consolidation. That was good. We did make a higher high right up here. Okay, barely. All right, not a real convincing. Again, they filled gap right here. Finally filled the gap. All right, so we had a bearish gap. You see this over here, that space between the price bars and these price bars. Well, that's the close, that little nub that sticks out there. And you can see we just finally filled the gap this morning on this bearish gap. So that's a bullish sign. A little bit of higher lows and higher highs. That's a bullish sign. Closing over a falling 200 SMA. That's also a bullish sign. And if we look at the 17 EMA here, the dominant color for today was green. All right, there is some red sprinkled in there, but you can see the dominant color is green. I still like the higher highs, like the higher lows and the higher highs, although all we did get was, I gotta say, I'm just gonna call it an equal high right there on FNGA. Okay, so there's price action. Still caught underneath, see this green uptrend line. Still caught underneath this pink line, that's the all-time high anchored VWAP. And nice job today closing over the falling 200 SMA. That's FNGA. All right, let's take a look at a few sectors, and then we're going to call it a night. All right, first sector we'll look at is XLE. It's our energy sector. Okay, look at XLE. That's a nice candle. See that follow through on that big candle there? That's a really nice candle. Higher low, higher high, closing over a trap over the 17. All right, closing over, look at this. Closing over downtrend line 1, that's this gold line. Closing over downtrend line 2, that's that gold line. Closing over 12-month high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line. Closing over the midpoint, that's the green dash line right there. Okay, so like to see it make a higher high. We still have not seen that higher high come out of this yet. Okay, so it's just neutral. All right, you go down, you give it up, that's neutral. You go up, you give it up, that's just neutral. Okay, but I'm going to say that's a nice close for the bulls. I just need to see the higher high. All right, got to see that higher high sometime soon. So there's XLE. Nice work there for the bulls on XLE. That's a nice comeback. I mean, look at this big red candle. They almost got that thing erased. That's a huge breakdown candle with follow through. All right, that's like scary right there. If you're holding USO, that's not good. Just have that show up, you know, for your morning. All right, that can wreck your day. So there's XLE. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG is a high flyer here, up in the upper third, so that's bullish. Inside day, that's a higher low you can see right there, and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap, under the falling flat 17 up there, up in the upper third. Okay, it's not in quadrant 4, but it's in the upper third. That's bullish. Still making higher lows and higher highs, so it's still bullish. All right, up over this 12-month high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, 12-month high anchored VWAP. This was my buy box. And if you follow me and you saw the same thing that I saw, you were handsomely rewarded right there with a nice rip up into quadrant 4. So there's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. All right, here's USO. I said price action probably most likely will have a date with this uptrend line and this 3-year high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line and the gold line. And I was talking about that way back here. And here you can see here's price action. Actually spiking, quadrant 1, coming right into the notch right there. And I was looking for this to bounce back into the buy box up here. So that was the buy box earlier. Of course, we never got any bullish activity coming out of the buy box. It just kind of melted down right into the notch. And I said there's a good chance of that happening anyways. All right, so there's price action for today. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap or a bullish cross, closing under a falling 17, closing over a 3-year high anchored VWAP, closing over the uptrend line. That's good. No longer in the lower third, so that's neutral. All right, closing underneath the midpoint. Okay, price goes up, gives it up. That's neutral. Same thing happens on the downside. Price goes down, gives it up. All right, that's neutral. So we're still neutral here on USO. Nothing bullish happening yet. Got a downtrend line that probably would be nice to see the bulls break. I don't know if the economy's ready for it yet, but CPI is down, PPI is in line, everything's looking good. Just need some money to throw around so people can start doing some stuff. All right, still got to break that downtrend line. All right. All right, so there's USO on the daily chart. Okay, coming into the uptrend line right there. Let's take a look at precious metals, GLD. All right, so GLD puts in, another new all-time high. Okay, really can't say anything more about it. It just doesn't get any better than that. SLV, all right, lower high, lower low, but closing over a bullish trap, over the 17, rising 17, over, this is a 12-year high, anchored VWAP, the pink line, okay, over the midpoint, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish on SLV, okay. I really believe with some consolidation here, we could easily, or I think we may find price coming up here to challenge, all right, maybe not take it out, but maybe challenge this 12-month high up here in quadrant 4. We'll see. So there's SLV. I can foresee that. All-time high is up at 48. It's a ways off. We probably have to see them get on top of this and consolidate. I think that's going to take a while. You are showing an inverted head and shoulders. Look for the right arm to extend right there where the left arm left off right there. So it's a good chance of price action moving up to where the left arm left off up there. Let's take a look at a few sectors. SMH. All right, Intel helping out SMH today. Price action is a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish cross over the falling 17. Not in the lower third, again, moving down, but giving it up. Price action under the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, under the midpoint. Okay, that's the green dashes right there. So just kind of neutral right here, okay, on SMH. All right, but I got to tell you, the big boys, the FNGA, are leading the pack. All right, we are seeing some bullish activity in T2123, not a lot. All right, but I got to say, the leader of the pack here is definitely these guys here putting in higher lows and higher highs, FNGA, and that would be the big cap, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, Broadcom, some of the big boys, some of the big heavyweights there. All right, let's take a look at, we just did SMH. Let's take a look at XLK, the SMH cousin. Here's the XLK, the cousin of the SMH. All right, higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap, okay, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, and under the midpoint. This was bearish down here in the lower third for a few days, and they give it up, so they're neutral right here. Okay, so they're neutral. All right, but they are definitely in a downtrend right there. XLK. Let's take a look at XLF. Nice work on XLF. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP in the upper third. That's bullish on XLF. Okay, so it's in the upper third. That's why. Okay, XLF. Let's take a look at IYT. Here's our transports. They're not doing as bad as they could have been, but got a higher low and a higher high. They closed inside a bearish trap. That's the space here. Okay, under the falling 17, under this all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. Under the uptrend line, under the midpoint. No longer in the lower third, just barely. All right, getting out of there. I'm just going to eyeball it and say they're not in it. So they're just neutral right here, okay? But they're going to need some follow through on these two candles to remain in neutral land. Otherwise, guess what? They go back to bearish, all right? Again, they go up and they give it up. Look, they go up, they give it up and more, okay? So any lower than this, and I think we're going to have to call them bearish, all right? There's IYT. All right, I'm going to take some questions in the room. And no, I'm not doing the corned beef and cabbage today, but I love it. All right, I just want to let you guys know that. Today was a good day for the green. All right, if you were green and you had your green underwear on, all right, or your green t-shirt, or your Pinch Me I'm Irish t-shirt, all right, you did good. You did good if you followed the game plan, all right? You guys did good. Robert says, hey, could I please take a look at ABT and EIX? How about, yeah, and the green money. Yep. Hang on. You want to clutch onto that one. All right. And he's saying EIX rounded bottom breakout, inverse head and shoulders. All right. Let's take a look. EIX. Daily chart. Yeah, you got the rounded bottom breakout. Kind of points to an inverse head and shoulders. Yes. All right. You really point out some good ones. Just okay. You got a ways off, but you got a downtrend line right there. Okay. So there's room to move into that, and you got the rounded bottom. And let's see if we can stick some moving averages on there to see if maybe we're shooting for a moving average on this one. All right, these are my moving averages. So there's the 50. Right there's that dash. So you're over the 50. All right, so target's going to be the downtrend line, no doubt about it. Wherever that is, because that's kind of like it's not going to be the 400, and it's not going to be the 100. Maybe they go for the 100. We'll see. All right. I like that over the falling 50. All right. But that's just the first candle. Maybe another candle up. We'll see what happens. That looks good, bullish. Just keep in mind you do have a downtrend line right there, which will definitely be a little speed bump, okay, right there. And you're right into resistance today, all right? So if you could get up there, if they can hold the ground, all right, up over 59, I'm just going to call it right here, 58.90. If they can hold the ground over 58.90, all right, that would be a sign of bullishness. A really good sign that they could hold the higher ground. They did good here. See how they moved up, held the higher ground. But they got really beat up on this. Okay. Really got tore up. Nice hold the higher ground. You got the reward breakout. Question is, where will they Where will they start to consolidate again? All right, so I like it, but it's got to hold over that 50 and like over the resistance right here, like 58, 50, 58, 70. It's got to hold over that. Okay, on EIX. Let's take a look at ABT. ABT. Going to go back to my other chart, which is right here. ABT is, it's an uptrend, all right, and it's a steep pullback in that uptrend. We found some support off of something over here on the left. Oh, there it is. All right, so we found some support right there on prior support. All right, so ABT bouncing here. Yeah, I think this has a chance of moving back to the midpoint. All right, I think this got a strong chance of coming back to that valley between the two peaks right here, probably that midpoint right there. I like that for bounce back up. Just recognize you're in a 2-hour downtrend right here. You're about to pinch it off. See right there, Robert, you're about to pinch off that 2-hour downtrend right there. If that gets pinched off with some bullish activity, all right, look at that 15-minute for a 15-minute uptrend over VWAP. That would be interesting. And again, my target would probably be this midpoint right up here. All right, they'd have to fill the gap. All right, so they got a gap that could get filled. All right, and they got to get through all of this consolidation right there. And they could do it. All right, there's just little speed bumps that will delay the process. All right, unless, of course, they report something big, and then they could just, just fly up there. But I like that for a pullback. All right, but bear in mind you're still in a 2-hour downtrend. All right, the daily's in an uptrend, but it's definitely not moving up. It's in a pullback. So let's take the quad lines and just kind of see where they went. I'm going to start here. All right, and I'm going to go up to the top. Okay, so you can see, I'm going to move these out. So you can see price moved up from the bottom to the top and pulled back to the midpoint right here. All right, so I want to see that 2-hour uptrend. All right, and then you could probably play that for right back to the midpoint, okay, or the trend line out here to the midpoint or the trend line. All right, yeah, sitting right on the 50-day, okay, and we can take a look at that moving average. Yeah, right on the 50. Yep. You're on support, so you hit support. Let's see how far they can bounce it. All right, maybe I would think that they would probably pull back up to the 8. And I think you got a good chance of actually moving right back up to the midpoint of this pullback, right in there, okay? A little bit past the 8. All right, so ABT on that one. Thanks, JA. Yeah, hey, John. If in uptrend or downtrend 10 minutes, is it wise to wait for the crossover and end the trade or take profit at the end of it? It's better. You're better off doing a little bit of both, Aman. All right. Me, I just prefer to do it all. I'm not trying to catch the real top. All right. But as soon as I see candles far and away from the 3, I trade a 10-minute chart. I like to take profit at the end of those. But you could see clearly today on SPY that the open gap over here, see this open gap, was the target. Okay, and you can see, look at not one red candle between, see the VWAP cross? and the target. Not one red candle. That's huge. That's like, I don't know how many, like 15, or it's got to be 11 or 12 green candles right in a row. All right? So I like to take some at the end of the green candles. I think you get a better price than you do when you get a cross. But when you cross, you probably want to, close out the trade if you got anything left. Usually, I like to close out my trade. Again, you can manage. There's different ways of managing. You can take and break it up into thirds. You can manage a third of it on the 5, a third of it on the 10, a third of it on the 15, or you can take profits into the green candle tips, reload on the 3 or the 8, right through there. Yeah. You're welcome. Did you do well today, Aman? You make a daily goal? I bet he did. I think he did. Okay. All right. Everybody starts somewhere. Nothing to be ashamed of. Love it. Did you do good in that account? Yes. All right. That's good. All right. So keep asking questions. All right. This is the only way to fast track your learning. Make daily goals. Wow. Love it, Robert. Okay. All right. So this is the best way to fast track your learning, is to ask questions. All right. So if you're out there, thanks, Scott. Thank you. All right. If you're out there and you're new to the room, okay, you want to fast track your learning. I mean, why not do it now? All right. This is the time. This is the place. This is the guy to do it with in this room right here. Fast track your learning so you can get profitable as fast as possible. Okay. Because this takes a while to learn. All right. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Peter. All right. GPU conference and Jensen. Okay. All right. That probably could be some volatility there. All right, guys. That's it for me for today. I'll see you guys all, everybody, guys and gals. I'll see everybody all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We'll do it again. All right. Again, the game plan works. Does it not, traders? I mean, almost all the time, the game plan works. All right, we'll see you guys at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you.